Hello, everybody. I'm Krasi, and I have a very interesting topic for today, which is favorite to so many people. And this is about the guardian angel. How to find the guardian angel in the horoscope. This is important because through the guardian angel, you understand a lot. You understand why certain lessons in life come in this such or such particular way. I will tell you how to find the guardian angel in the horoscope and how to benefit from this knowledge. But what I find more interesting is that the second part of this video will be to introduce to you a real medium, a clairvoyant person. And she is really wonderful. She's a real medium. Her name is Karen Doherty, and she will tell us exactly how this happens, how this manifests in reality. If I, as astrologer, can tell you only theoretically what I see in the chart on which planetary ruler is our guardian angel, what is this meaning, what kind of lessons would this mean for us, then she will tell us exactly how this works in reality, because the spirit world is the real world. This is the reality. Everything is energy. We all have guardian angels, and the conversation with her was really, really amazing. So when you see this first part, only in a day after, I will place on my YouTube channel the second part, which is the conversation with her, and she will explain, like a continuation of my talk now, the reality, what is really happening, what is she really seeing, because she's a real medium, seeing everything since a very young age. This was her normal reality. So she sees things, she sees the guardian angels, she sees what is happening when we leave our bodies and all this, and she will help us understand the astrological perspective through the real manifestation of it. So I would tell you what is the meaning of the guardian angel in the horoscope, but just to tell you that for discovering the guardian angel in the chart, I advise that you use as the ancients did, because this is a very ancient notion. I advise you to use sidereal zodiac, and even more that you use days, the 30 degrees, or how you call it, equal house system. And you can do this very easily. For example, if you go to astro.com, and if you opt for sidereal Fagan Bradley system, equal house system, then you use exactly what the ancients did. Now, the notion that I will share with you is very ancient. It's certainly from Babylon. Many authors speak about it, and it was very much used by the ancient Greek, the Hellenistic astrologers, Byzantium astrologers, the Roman astrologers. And yes, it is something that I also use always when I approach a horoscope, and it is truly amazing knowledge, which gives so much, and it is like it enriches the knowledge that you obtain from the horoscope. So this notion comes, of course, from many ancient authors, but I have a favorite one right now, and this is Vettius Valens, because we believe that his knowledge comes directly from Hermes, and Vettius Valens is a very ancient astrologer. So the most important thing, which I will explain you in a second, and I'll also share my screen with you, is to understand that we will be talking here about the so-called sacred trio of the ancient astrology, and this is the Helek, the Alkokoden, and the Almuten. And I have a video lesson which I will post a link to, where you can see exactly in detail how I do this. Of course, I will also tell you now the system of valence. But if you want to understand more or to rediscover or discover this system, you can also look at the link that I will post under this video. So Hilek, Aukokoden, and Aunuten. Now the Hilek is what we will not emphasize so much on, but I will mention it. I will tell you how to find the Hilek in the chart, because you cannot find the Aukokoden without the Hilek. And the Aukokoden, the planet which is Aukokoden in the horoscope, is actually your guardian angel. And depending on how the planet is doing in your chart, you know how exactly, in what particular way the lessons in your life come. So the Hilek, when you're born, with the first breath, we take, we receive this godly, this essence of the first aeon, of the first light, or the first most powerful planetary influence. And this is the Hilek. Yes, it is the most powerful planet that you inhale it the most, like the most powerful energies that will influence your life the most. And this is the first breath you take. This is this particle of God that you receive from heaven, and this is the Hilek. But how to find this? Now, it is actually very easy. And yes, there are many versions from ancient astrologers on how to find the Hilek. Dorotheus has a very, very good way. Even Ptolemy, they are all resemble with some small differences, but when you see many horoscopes with experience, you'll be able immediately to spot the Hilek and to know which planet is the Hilek, which planet the person inhaled as the most powerful energy with the first breath he or she took. So the Hilek, in most cases, is a luminary. It is either the moon or the sun. And what you do, if the person is born in the day, which would say the sun to be above the horizon, then you see how the sun is placed in order to see if the sun can be Hilek. And let me illustrate this with example for you. I'm sharing my screen, and I have here one horoscope, which I don't even know whose chart this is. I just use it to illustrate. So look, on this chart, we're having definitely day diurnal birth, because the sun is above the horizon. So we need to see how the diurnal luminary, the sun, is placed in the horoscope, so that we can determine whether the sun is a Hilek or not. So if the sun, in this case, even the luminary, if the birth is night birth, which would say the sun to be below the horizon, then we would concentrate first on the moon to see how the moon is placed. But in this particular chart, the sun is above the horizon, so immediately we say this is diurnal birth. So then we look at, excuse me, then we look at the houses. The angular houses play the most important role in the chart. So in the house, if the sun is in an angular houses, which are in this place, the houses which are for the ascendant, descendant, midheaven, lower meridian, then the sun immediately will become Hilek. And the sun will be the planet that the person with his or her breath inhaled the first, as the most, with the most powerful manifestation or influence. So look, the sun is exactly on midheaven in the 10th house, which is angular because it's on an angle, simply. So this is, the sun immediately becomes Hilek. But imagine if the sun was on the 11th house. The sun can also become Hilek because the 11th house, the 2nd house, the 8th house, and also the 5th house are succeedent houses, which means that these houses will become in the future angular houses. So if the sun was on the 11th or in the 2nd and so on, it still can become Hilek. But say that the sun was placed somewhere else, and not in succedent and not in angular houses, then the sun cannot become helic. So you do the same with the moon. Then you see if the moon is in angular houses like ascendant, descendant, midheaven, lower meridian, or succedent, then the moon can become helic. But if this is not the case, then according to Valens, you follow very simple rules. And this is, if the moon and the sun are in the third or in the ninth houses, then it means that the helic is the ascendant. So the ascendant, it means that the most powerful energies come from the ascendant, which is Cancer. And this is the helic. And if the moon and the sun are in the 12th or in the 6th houses, then it means that the helic will be the meridian. So this is how Valens is analyzing. In case that one of the luminaries is, for example, in the 3rd house, and the other one is, for example, in the 6th house, you take the luminary which is ruling the chart by time, by sect. This would say, if, for example, the person is born in the day, and the sun is in the 3rd house, but the moon is in the 12th, of course, priority will have the sun, because the sun in the 3rd house will have priority because the person is born in the day, and then you take the helic to be the sun. And so, this I told you, the knowledge about the helic I shared with you, so that we know how to find the Alcocodan. Now let me tell you 2 words about the Alcocodan. The Alcocodan from Arabic means, actually the etymology of the word went to a different transformation and translation. So Al-Kalhut, they say, and the Greek translation would say the Lord of the house, but the Alcocodan translated would say the one who gives the ages, the one who rules the length of life. So from the position of the Alcocodan, we understand how long the person will live. There are different ways to calculate the length of life, and this is something that I don't recommend anyone to do, because this is putting us in a mindset of like limiting mindset of expecting that, or it's certainly not the most advisable thing to do, is to calculate the length of life. But the Alcocodan, apart from the giving the years of life, and he really does, has a very important function. He's the one who is also giving the guardian angel. The guardian angel was considered like the father of the person in the other world, in the spirit world. So this is the spirit who is always with us from the moment that we are born until our last breath on earth. So this is the guardian angel, and this was considered very, very, very important knowledge in the ancient world. So how the guardian angel is positioned, is placed in your chart, you know in what way you receive your lessons. Now, I will tell you more about this, but first to tell you the very simple way of Valens on finding who your guardian angel is. So, you first find the helic, the way I explained you, but there will be another video that you can also look at. I will put a link on. And then I think there I'm using the system of Dorteus. It's also a nice system, but I decided recently that this system of Valens works very well. So you find which planet is the helic. And this planet, of course, is very important. It is about the energies the person will have all life. It is about the health, the overall condition of the body. And as we said, we are having the holy, the sacred trio of the ancient astrology, the helic, the Okokoden and the Almuten. The Almuten, I will not discuss in this video. It is in the other video that I explained how to find the Almuten, because there is a whole system of calculations. And the Almuten, I will mention just 2-3 words about this. The Almuten is the most powerful planet in the horoscope, which is exactly representing the nature of the person. And even with some experience and looking at many charts, you can be able, only by seeing the person, to say which is the Almuten. And this works. I've been experimenting with this. I would see person and I would think, oh, her or his Almuten is this planet. And then when I see the chart, I often come to be right, because this planet is so powerful and so much ruling the chart that you see it in the behavior and in the expression and even in the aura of the person. So this is, let's go back to the Okokoden, but I'm mentioning all the time the three of them, the Hilek, the Okokoden, and the Almuten, because they kind of work together and they give their essence to the chart together. So the Almuten, the life giver, the length of life planet that is determining the length of life. But according to Valence, once you discover which planet is the Hilek, the term where the planet is ruling is the Okokoden. And in this case, I am using, and the Valence used, and the ancient astrology is used, were the Egyptian terms or the Egyptian bounds in astrology. They are available everywhere online. You can easily find them. So the sign, every sign of 30 degrees is divided into 5 sections, unequal 5 sections, and each section has a ruler. And if, for example, you will see that, let's take Libra. The first section of Libra is ruled by Saturn. And if you see, for example, that the Hilek is the Sun and it's in the 2nd degree Libra, you knowing that this particular section of Libra is ruled by Saturn, you immediately know that Saturn will be the Okokoden. So Saturn will be the guardian angel, the spirit of the planet. Saturn will be the guardian angel of the person. I will tell you in a second what this means. And something interesting also. There is a possibility that invisible planet is Okokoden. But then some authors would declare that this horoscope this house has no ruler, this person has no guardian angel. Well, I don't believe this can be the case. Other authors would say that if the planet is invisible, the guardian angel is fallen. But I am also not sure, because I haven't seen this spirit reality with my own eyes, or if we all seen it before, we have all forgotten it. So we don't know exactly if this is the case. But in many cases, because often, you know how often Mercury is invisible. And if the sun you discover, for example, that is a Hilek, but if the sun is in a term of Mercury, then you can, and you see in the chart that Mercury is invisible, then you can say that either the guardian angel is a fallen angel, or that the horoscope has no, or the person has no guardian angel, which I don't believe to be true, because I believe everyone has different angel according to his or her knowledge, development, experience, and so on. We all have guardian angels and teachers from the other world. So I don't think that this is exactly the case. But in any case, you will see that there is something with the invisible guardian angel. What is happening? What is the essence that the person receives from the different planetary rulerships? Take, for example, that, of course, take, for example, that the Venus is a guardian angel. And look, of course, how Venus is placed in the chart to see, to get the essence of the planet and in what ways she or he will receive the lessons in life. But if Venus is guardian angel, so the person will receive the lessons in the beautiful way of Venus. The person will understand from beauty. The person will maybe will be beautiful, will maybe be charismatic, will maybe have sense of beauty, will appreciate art and music and so on. So take that Venus is the guardian angel. Then the guardian angel will not give the lessons in this harsh way, difficult way that Saturn would, for example. Or take Jupiter. Jupiter will teach you in this joyful way, generously, with generosity, with blessing, with abundance. So this will be the guardian angel of the spirit of Jupiter. Take Mars, the warrior. Yes, you may get from time to time a bit aggressive lessons from Mars, the soldier, the warrior. But once again, you have to see how Mars is placed in the chart. Mercury, he may teach you exactly through knowledge, through communication, through giving you information. And so this would be Mercury. Take Saturn, I told you. So depending on how the planet is placed and which is the planetary ruler and which is the of the Okokodan and what is the nature of the planet, this way the person will receive lessons in this life, in this incarnation. And if really this planet is invisible, could be indeed, I assume that the invisibility of the planet doesn't mean that the rulership is not there, because the planets are invisible only from our perspective. They are not invisible. When they go to hide in the rays of the sun, they are there, but then they are very delicate. We can think that this person will receive in a very delicate way. Imagine if this is Jupiter, and Jupiter is invisible, and Jupiter is Okokodan, angel, guardian angel of the chart. Maybe Jupiter is coming in a very delicate way. Maybe it's giving more freedom to the person to make decisions. So we don't know this, but I think this is very possible. I don't think that there is a way the person not to have guardians or angels. We all do have, because we all have our specific mission to learn our specific lessons here. I only know that we have guardian angels, and that this knowledge of who your guardian angel is and what is the nature of your guardian angel will help you understand why certain lessons came this and that way. And if this is Saturn, and you find out that your guardian angel is Saturn, and you see that your lessons come in a bit of a hardship, in a hard way, you will know that it all comes for good. And your guardian angel loves you, but he likes to be not very joyful next to you. He likes really to teach you in his own hard way, and this is all for our own good. So this is my understanding of the rules of the ancients, and I've been using this for many charts, and sometimes people really come with these questions. Do I have a guardian angel? So yes, I'm able to answer this and to give them details based on how the Okokodan ruler is placed in the chart. I hope this was useful for you, but even more useful will be the next part of this video, when I will talk to Karen Doherty, and she will tell us, actually I have this already recorded, I will just post it very shortly after this video, and Karen told amazing things exactly from how she sees this, how she sees the guardian angels. So thank you, and please feel free to comment.